Hello, Internet. Hello, YouTube. Happy Friday, the 3rd of October. Nice to see y'all here. And I just wanted to do a kind of unplanned, impromptu little show and tell. I was going to do an unboxing when I got these delivered, but I ended up having like a market pretty much like the next day. The giant box of books arrived just in time. So unfortunately, I didn't have the time to do a proper unboxing with you guys with this very exciting mass market edition of my new book, Bodymagic. So I wanted to just do a little comparison because I know that it can be kind of confusing on like what is the difference? How do you decide which version you want to get? And obviously, some of that decision making process might be around finances because this is the hand printed, handmade edition, limited edition of 150 copies done on Risograph. And so, just the cost element of that, since it is completely handmade and completely limited, that might be an impediment for some folks. But for my bookish, nerdy people who really love printmaking and print material and like book objects, you'll probably just want to see this a little bit up close. And for everyone else, this is the mass market unlimited edition, typical Amazon digitally printed version of the book. And so I just wanted to kind of come online and show you guys the difference between these, since I'm sure some people are going to be like, why, what's the difference? I don't know. I don't understand. So I just wanted to kind of show everyone that. So this did just arrive pretty recently, just a few weeks ago. I finally got these from Amazon. And as you can see, like it's got a glossy kind of cover, which is different from this kind of matte, not shiny cover. You can see that they both have the kind of black spine, but obviously the black on the digitally printed is going to be kind of a lot deeper of a black. You can kind of see it looks a bit more faded on the Risograph, and that's just because of the printing method, and it just is going to look a little bit different. So everyone is going to have a little bit of a different preference in terms of aesthetics. I would have actually liked to have had a more cream paper, but if I had chosen a cream paper for the Amazon edition, it actually would be a book that would not be able to be purchased on Amazon by stores, unfortunately. So I want it to be more available for stores and also libraries. So libraries are able to order my book and anyone else who is publishing on Amazon through Amazon. And so that is really important to me because I do always email libraries and get them to potentially carry my book. So you can also see the back is a little bit different. We have the, whatever this is called, I forget, the ISBN. And then we also have like a little description of what the book is and a kind of category: spirituality, witchcraft, magic, and memoir is kind of the category that I put this in. And so it does have a little bit of a different look to it. The paper is going to be a little bit thinner. So I'll show you guys kind of side by side. It's like pretty close, but you can see that it is a bit of a different width. So the Amazon edition is going to be a little skinnier. It is going to be black and white. And so I'll just do, it's hard to kind of do a flip through, but we're going to try. So the black and white Amazon edition. And I think this is 39 Canadian. I don't know how much it is US. Probably like 29 or something. And so this is the Amazon edition. So if anyone is grabbing this book over on Amazon, this is the version that you're going to get. It is the black and white on white paper, glossy cover version from Amazon, which is the unlimited kind of mass market edition, which obviously is in contrast to this is the Risograph edition. And so it does have a completely kind of different energy to the pages. I would say this one is a little bit more muted in terms of the darks and lights. We have like kind of more happening in that gray muted space for this particular edition. And I do have some copies of this left for everyone who is like a total book nerd. I do foresee this selling out, just so everyone kind of knows. So there is, I don't know, maybe 60 copies left, if I'm going to estimate 60 copies left of this Risograph edition. If you do want one, That I don't think that's available on Kickstarter anymore. I think the late pledges have expired. I don't really know how it works because I'm new to Kickstarter, but I'm pretty sure it's expired. The late pledges, people used to be able to get one on Kickstarter itself, but now I think you're going to have to go directly through me and send me an email, and then we can sort the details out over PayPal, and then I can send you a packaged, signed, limited edition of this book. And the reviews so far have been really good. The feedback has been really good. And for anyone who really does miss the feeling of a book as a handmade art object, like completely handmade, hand printed, hand bound, I think, hand everything, to a really high degree of detail and precision, like I really would recommend at least considering this edition. For those of you who have been in my sphere and familiar with my work for a really long time, you will remember that first edition of Witchbody back in the day, the Risograph handmade edition. And so for those of you who do want a Risograph handmade edition to match your original version of Witchbody, yeah, you will want to pick this version up. And again, you can grab that through me. My website is sabrinamscott.com, and so we can get you sorted with that if that is something that you're interested in. But for everyone else, like, this version is still really nice. I do honestly not mind the black and white, even though it is like less muted. We have like a little bit more of a kind of extremeness in the tonality. We see the white coming through, so it does have a bit of a different look to it aesthetically. But in my mind, like, it really depends like what you are using your books as, or what you see books as. Like, if you're really into handmade art objects and printing and like really beautifully handmade art objects and books that are done in that way, like, you will probably like this version a little bit better. Yeah, I just think that's the case if you are like a book nerd. But if you're someone who is here just for the information, like, you want it in the most affordable version possible, you don't want to worry about, fucking up a limited edition book or getting it pages bent, or you're worried about what happens to it because it costs more. Like, if you just want like down and dirty, like a book that you're not going to have to worry too much about, it's kind of just like typically produced with computers and digital printing, I think this one will totally meet your expectations. It still does look nice. I do feel really happy with the job that Amazon was able to do with this book. Honestly, I think they did an awesome job. And I think it still does the book justice. And so if you are someone who is thinking about grabbing my new book, this is just kind of what it looks like. For the Amazon edition, you do have the gloss, and you still have the black spine. Like, they've still been able to kind of do that design really nicely. And this is kind of what you can expect. And I'm really thankful to everyone who has grabbed a copy of my new book, Bodymagic, so far. It really does mean a lot to me. And this book, honestly, has been a long time coming, and it is something that I think everyone who has ever experienced any kind of trauma or pain and try to work through that with your spirituality and your magic, like, I think this book is for you. The book is dedicated. Let me just find the dedication so I can read it to y'all. You can kind of see it here. It says, "This book is dedicated to everyone who has ever dared to heal out loud." And so here you can kind of see that. And so this book really is for all of my fellow survivors, whether that is, sexual violence, gender violence, like family dysfunction, relationship stuff, like whatever that is to you. Like, this book really does go out to everyone who has ever healed from anything, is healing from anything, has been through some kind of trauma, and is working with witchcraft and magic and spirituality in order to heal that and work through that, and just give yourself some support and solace and magic to just work through those things. And Bodymagic really is about that. It is all about that process that our body goes through as the body slowly begins to heal. And that is a magic in and of itself. And yes, that's all I have to say about this for now. I just feel really proud of this. And I think a lot of my motivation in making this was obviously to tell my own story, but it's also to help other people and to give folks some hope who are going through it, because I know that everyone is at a different stage of their healing journey, and some people are going to be struggling to this day, let's say more than others. Some of us are more or less all good to go, but for a lot of people, it does take a long time to kind of heal those wounds and uncover some of those things that are going to be hidden underneath the surface. And so this really is my story about healing from family trauma, like dysfunctional family. It was not a good time for me growing up, and just talking a little bit about that, as well as assaults that I experienced in adulthood. And I think that is a really common experience for a lot of young women, unfortunately. And so if you are someone who has been through anything and you are worried about being triggered by this book, it does, I would say it has a trigger warning for sure. I'm just going to throw that out there. It starts off pretty strong and then it gets a little bit more positive as we kind of move along. But read it with awareness of, yeah, you are going to encounter some kind of heavy stuff in this book. It will likely reveal your relationship to your own wounding, and it will kind of reveal where you're at in terms of just healing those wounds. We all have this stuff and we all are in a different process. And some of us are going to think that, we're all done, we're all healed, and then we're gonna hit a bit of a bump or a roadblock or a snag and be like, oh shit, actually maybe there's some other stuff I need to work through. And so this book really is about the magic and the spirituality and the witchcraft and the spirit relationships that we can have as we are moving through this stuff. And this is uncommon, unpopular maybe thing to say, but I do think that sometimes trauma can be this fast track to understanding how does witchcraft and magic work? How does energy work? How does possession work? How does trance work? And so in a way, we could say that trauma can help us be better witches, but we also can work with witchcraft to heal our trauma. And I really do believe that it's I think the reason that I'm alive today. And this book really is that story. And I hope that it can be a beacon of hope for anyone who needs it and give voice to, I think, a sequence of very difficult experiences that a lot of people will experience in their life. And if I can be a little bit of a breath of fresh air, some wind behind the sails, and some encouragement and healing, that is absolutely what I would like to do. So the longer title of this book is Bodymagic, a graphic novel about witchcraft, trauma, and healing. It is available on Amazon in most countries. Yeah, check it out on Amazon, Bodymagic. Go to my website, sabrinamscott.com, and then click books. If you can't be bothered to search into Amazon, there's going to be all the links to all the different countries on that section on my website. So check it out, my friends. And if you have grabbed this book, please let me know in the comments. Did you like it? Which edition do you have? Do you have both editions? I would love to know. And that is all I have to say for now. I'll talk to y'all later and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.